Good evening, everyone. We're here live from Darlington, where the pitch is ready, the egos are inflated, and the Wanderers are looking tougher than a pair of old work boots left out in the rain. I'm Nathan Rowe, your host for tonight's Sky Sports feature, Gunners vs. Durham Wanderers. With me, the firebrand of football commentary, Marcus MJ Green, and the ice-cold tactician, Clara Clark. Before we dive into tonight's action, let's take a quick look back at last week's match, a gritty battle where the Wanderers set the tone early and really dominated the pace of play.
Nathan, that first half from the Wanderers? Clinical, dominant. They came out swinging like they were settling old scores in a pub car park. And Dylan? My God, that assist to Yanni was filthy.
It was a beautiful bit of football. Controlled build-up, space created at the top of the box, and Dylan with a rare flash of vision. He floated in a cross so precise it could have been delivered by a drone. Yanni met it like a heat-seeking missile, and bang, what a header. The net rippled with the Gunners goalie standing absolutely no chance. It could go down as the header of the season.
And how about that second goal? It's something we haven't seen since FIFA Street came out back in 2005. An injured Cash Collins decided to unleash hell. He ripped through the backline like Hurricane Katrina hitting the lower ninth. Unstoppable, unforgiving, and leaving nothing but wreckage behind.
It's true, Nathan. He made those defenders look like mannequins at a clearance sale. Completely still, totally helpless, and just waiting to be retired. It started with 4 step-overs, ankles shattered, egos left twitching in the grass. He basically turned that backline into a blooper reel with a soundtrack of shame. Then he finished the play by tucking it away like a boner one gets in the morning when waking up at your in-laws' house.
It was a great first half, but you could see the second half shift though. The Wanderers really struggled to find their rhythm. It was like they forgot how to play proper football and instead tried to force everything, rushing every move as if they were desperate to wrap it up in 3 passes or less. But no matter how much the Gunners pressed, the Wanderers' defenders held firm, shutting down any real chances and showing that while their attack might have lost its way, their defence was still championship calibre.
Right, and part of that attacking chaos was led by the 2024 MVP Dylan Cowell. After that brilliant early assist, it's like he took a personal vow of silence when it came to passing. He had options, but he was locked in on scoring like it was a one-man mission. Should have had 7 assists, ended up with 1. The fans weren't happy. You could hear it from the stands. A few of those missed chances weren't just unlucky, they were avoidable.
That's right, Marcus, and this brings us perfectly to a very special guest we have on the line right now. Calling in from Georgetown, Guyana, he's one of the biggest Wanderer supporters on the planet and the self-declared #1 Cash Collins fan. He's a Caribbean soca superstar and the man behind the surprise anthem lighting up the summer. His latest single, Pass the Ball, just debuted at #1 on the Billboard Top 100. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Rumble Ricky. Ricky, welcome to the show.
Alright, thanks a lot for that. Big up all the fans. Big up the Wanderers family. Watch me now, this song. It come from real life stress by. Every week I there watching the game and cash out the wide like the Demerara River, calling for the ball, and Dylan just not see him. It's like he blindfold or what. So one day I say, nah man, I gotta do something. I pick up my pen and write a little tune, make people laugh, but also tell the truth, you know. And it catch on quick. They playing it at the field, at the bar, even the minibus man blaring it while he overtaking. It turn anthem overnight, but no hard feelings. Dylan is me boy still. That youth man got skills, he got the sauce. When he lock in, he could take on 4 man and still come out smiling. Sometimes you gotta sing the truth so them could hear it sweet, sweet. Football is love. Football is vibes. But me gone now. But tell Dylan I watching him, eh? Pass the ball or I write in volume 2. Respect.
Tremendous stuff, and thank you, Ricky, for joining us. Well, folks, you heard it straight from the source. The anthem is real, it's hot, and it's climbed faster than a Wanderer's counterattack.
So for everyone tuning in around the world, whether you're in Canada, Guyana, England, or just stuck in traffic, it's time for a special treat.
Here it is, blasting into your ears straight from the Caribbean to the top of the Billboard charts. Turn up your speakers, everyone. This is Rumble Ricky with his #1 hit single.
Let me find On the field, the game's in motion. Durham Wanderers full of devotion. Cash is calling wide and free, but Dylan's eyes don't seem to see. Pass it, Dylan, don't be cruel. Cash is open, it's the golden rule. You shoot it wide, you shoot it tall, but you never ever pass the ball. Cash is waving arms in the air, wide open like he's standing there. Dylan dribbles like he's the king, but teamwork's what makes victory sing. Pass it, Dylan, don't be cruel. Cash is open, it's the golden rule. You shoot it wide, you shoot it tall, but you never ever pass the ball. Cash is waving arms in the air, wide open like he's standing there. Dylan dribbles like he's the king, but teamwork's what makes victory sing. Pass it, Dylan, don't be cruel. Cash is open, it's the golden rule. You shoot it wide, you shoot it tall, but you never ever pass the ball.
What a smash hit. No surprise, it stormed to number 1 on the charts. All right, folks, time to refocus and get back to the action. It's our Man of the Match segment, proudly brought to you by Coors Light and no longer by Hellenders. Word is the sausage prize was getting out of hand. One too many players started measuring their self-worth in smoked kielbasa. Angelo pulled the plug after the dressing room turned into a butcher shop flex-off. Now, winners get a Coors and a handshake. Just vibes, no meat.
Your winner last week, Cale Harden, rock solid at center back. Harden was so flawless he made that defense look tighter than a pair of skinny jeans after a buffet. And yes, he proudly wore the official Man of the Match cowboy hat, which landed him a sponsorship deal with Lucchese cowboy boots. Since 1883, those boots have been made for kicking ass. And now, they're officially stomping through Durham's defense with Cale leading the charge. Yeehaw cowboy.
And let's not forget some of the others in that back line. Shout-outs to Steven Sforza, who could have easily snatched Man of the Match if the judges had their say. And Daniel Hanau, an absolute beast at the back, throwing in slide tackles so fierce they would have brought tears of joy to Aldo's eyes.
Speaking of Aldo, where the hell is he? I mean, sure, he promised to avoid cards this year, but nobody thought he'd avoid the entire season. At this point, fans are starting to think he's gone full ninja, like he stepped straight out of Predator and vanished into thin air. And Blair Darlington may now have to look for a new role. He was last seen massaging injured gunners on their bench. Reports suggest several gunners faked groin injuries just to feel Blair's magic touch. If physio doesn't work out, he's a shoo-in to lead the club's recycling initiative. We haven't seen anyone clean up empty cans like Blair in years.
That's true, Nathan. In goal, Craig Harris finally played well and maybe too well. Because guess what? He's been cut again. First indoor, now this. At this point, the only thing he's consistent at is getting cut and getting high. And just when he thought he had a shot, Fabrizio Romano drops the news that Eugene Alves is back as backup. Man, talk about kicking him while he's down.
All right, team, let's switch gears and talk speed. Garmin clocked Santos hitting a top speed of 31 kilometers per hour. And that stat has sent Wanderers fans into meltdown online. A recent poll on X from Sky Sports asked, who's the fastest Wanderer? With thousands of results still coming in, Edwards, Jemuel Paul, Craven, and Sutherland are leading the fan votes. But then came one highly suspicious post from X account at Not the Real Trevor Hill, claiming Trevor Hill is the fastest man on the squad.
Unfortunately for Hill, the polls tell a different story. He's currently tied with Jamie Cheevers and Eugene Alves at the bottom of the rankings. Congrats, fellas. You're officially the slowest Wanderers, only ahead of Angelo.
And finally, folks, let's move on to tonight's match. It's Friday night, same field, same teams, Gunners versus Wanderers, Part 2. Last match ended 2-0 to the Wanderers, but don't let that scoreline fool you. The Gunners had plenty of chances in the first half. 3 golden opportunities to score, and if they'd been a bit sharper in front of goal, we could have been looking at a very different game. Honestly, it could have been 3-0 to the Gunners inside the first 20 minutes alone. The Wanderers will need to come out firing from the first whistle this time, unlike their slower start last game.
With the Wanderers coming into this game after 10 days rest, they should be refreshed, but they're missing some key players. Craven, Sutherland, Matthews, and Mike Majorano are all out, while Cole, Cash, and Aldo remain questionable. Still, this squad is as deep and nasty as Angelo tearing through the streets of Puerto Vallarta in 1995, leaving beds soaked and sweaty with a passion that burned hotter than a Mexican sun until dawn. Don't underestimate their firepower.
4 games played, 15 goals scored, and just 1 conceded. If they can continue playing the way they are by staying patient and staying defensively sound, this could be another statement performance from the Wanderers.
Well, that's all from us here at Sky Sports. Gunners, Wanderers, and Friday night on Field 4. Buckle up, it's going to get spicy. We'll see you tonight at 7 p.m. live and only on Sky Sports.